Supervision policies, procedures, and practices. An analysis of your school board. Well, my school board has already been talked about by Shelby, Joe, and Scott. So instead of hearing it all over again about the administrative procedures and TPDR walkthroughs, etc., I have a different take on this assignment. I decided to interview someone experienced in the administrative role for 10 plus years and someone that's pretty new to the role, only in her second year as administrator. So grab a beverage, coffee, tea, or whatever you feel like, and let's go on for the ride. What you need to know about both of the administrators that I interviewed is that both of them are female, both of them are around the same age, both of them have been teaching around 18 plus years or in the profession. But like I said, the new administrator is only in her second year in that role. The experienced administrator has been in that role for 10 plus years, just over 10 years. So I've given them the same question, and I've had, you can see that we'll have some different answers here that we can compare and contrast. The first question I asked was, what does instructional supervision mean to you? The new administrator gave a very technical answer, giving feedback to someone who is having difficulties with previously known criteria, like classroom look for rubric, TPDR evaluation, code of ethics discussion, gradebook requirements, work policies, and co-setting goals for improvement. The experienced administrator said that being the lead learner that is up to date on current pedagogy that may support staff with their best practices, which is based on common core values. You can see very different answers here from the new administrator, very technical, to a more philosophical approach to the experienced admin. So different takes on the same question. The experienced admin didn't even like the word supervision, so we'll discuss that further when she discussed who should be supervised and who is the supervisor. She doesn't see herself as a supervisor. She's part of the team. The next question I asked was, what should be the ultimate purpose of supervision? And the new admin said safety and accountability. Student safety is a crucial job requirement in the school setting. Those who work with the students need to be aware of and accountable for their safety. Accountability for the job you are hired to do, like curriculum requirements for teachers and operations and management for administrators. The experienced admin said to experience growth, and this happens through your guidance and should involve their own reflective process. So we're talking about growth here and reflection compared to safety and accountability. Very different answers again. Who should supervise and who should be supervised? The new administrator said everyone supervises to some extent. Teachers, educational assistants, custodians, field trip volunteers. Accountability is important. We are not self-employed. And I do agree with her there that everybody is somewhat in a supervisor role, right? We're all watching and looking for certain things and making sure things run adequately. The experienced admin said the principal needs to have a broad range of experience that helps in the organization of the operations of the school and needs to be well-versed as well as in the code of ethics. Again, that experienced administrator did not like to refer to herself as a supervisor. What knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values are possessed by successful supervisors? The new administrator said that well-rounded teaching experience, knowledge of and consistent use of the policies, procedures of school operations, flexibility and communication. The experienced admin said that school-based admin need to possess common core values that are based in best practice for student-centered education. They need to be dependable, trustworthy, and have good communication. And she was quite adamant about those three qualities. dependable, trustworthy, and have good communication. Those are the skills that she thinks that school-based admin need to have, and I do agree. What are the most important needs of teachers? These were very different answers, as you'll see. The new admin said to have a listening ear or backup, to have educational assistant support if able, to have low class sizes, to be interrupted less frequently. And I do agree with her, that is some of what teachers do feel like they need. The experienced admin said for teachers to feel and know that they are trusted and supported. And I agree. Bottom line, the things that the new admin did list are part of that. At the end of the day, we do want to feel and know that we are trusted and supported in our practice and in our decision making. What makes for positive relationships between supervisors and teachers? The new admin said communication. Having all on the same page or in the know is key. Role modeling a calm and positive approach is also beneficial for relationship building for both adults and children, and I do agree with her there. The experienced admin had one word: trust. So you need to feel trusted. They have to be trusted. You get a lot of personal information as an administrator that you're not able to share. You have to have a lot of private conversations about what went well and what didn't go well. One story that she did tell was about something that had gone wrong and explaining to the teacher why it was important for them to do something differently. That was something that stuck with me. She said it was really important not to share people's personal information, even if you see it as good news. You could say, oh, that happened. She told me that, and I'm going to share it with the staff. When you see it as good news, someone else might see it differently. So keep people's information private and always explain the why we have to do things differently if something went well or went not so well. Explaining the why gives people meaning, and then they'll remember to do those procedures differently. What types of activities should be part of instructional supervision? The new administrator said some very technical sides of supervision: recess, lunchroom supervision allotment, classroom look-for rubrics, TPDR evaluation, which includes in-depth criteria for classroom management, assessment, curriculum plans, etc., code of ethics requirements, gradebook requirements, work hour policy, various union policies, ministry-run program requirements like pre-K, etc. Very technical answer, very by the book. The experienced admin said that formal and informal observations that are aligned with those core values that should include peer collaboration and self-reflection. And we'll talk about our professional growth plans later on at the end of the video. What should be changed regarding the current practice of instructional supervision? The new admin, job requirements and roles need to be defined and known by all, perhaps even posted. TPDR can be very time consuming. And she went on to say how she's completed one TPDR so far, but that took hours and hours, 4 classroom visits, lots of conferencing with the teacher, and that can be very time consuming. Is everyone spending, are all administrators doing a good job of putting the time in and spending that time to complete the TPDR? It was completed for a second year teacher in her case. Experienced admin said that greater consistency with how administrative procedures are administered, like the TPDR, they should be more frequent and aligned with the teacher's professional growth plans. So again, that conversation was around, does every administrator put in the time, like 4 visits, to do the TPDR? And she also talked about, the experienced admin talked about how it's front loaded in our school division. So you get formal observations in your first and second year, and then you may never have them again. And that's what's happened in my case. Each year I need